Well, the Kushans, Indians or Central Asians, everywhere I saw, they say they're Central Asian invaders. Of course they will say that. Of course they will say they are foreigners. The foreigners. See, the Kushans, they came from which part of the world? They invaded India, yes, agree. No questions. No question. They came from which part of the world? Let's go to the map. Let's put the map on the screen. So the Kushans, they came from the Tarim Basin region, present day Xinjiang, currently occupied by China. What is this river? This is the Khotan River. There's a Tarim River somewhere here. What is this? Tarim River. Where is Tarim River? It's somewhere in this region, okay? So the Tarim Basin region is somewhere around here. Khotan and all that. The Kushans came from this region. They came. So if you look at this region, this was the region that was home to the Tushara people of the Mahabharata. In English, you call them the Tokharians. The Tokharians. And if you look at the Tarim region today, you will find mummies there. People who were buried around 3000 BC. The Tarim Basin mummies. These were the Tokharian people. They spoke the Tokharian language. And if you look at the Tokharian script, it goes ka, kha, ga, ga, yara, la, vasha, all that. So it was an Indic kind of language. It was based on an Indic system. If you look at the DNA of the Tarim Basin mummies, male DNA, it is R1A1A. It is classic Indian DNA, even though these people have blue eyes, possibly red hair and white skin. So they were the Tushara people, Mlecha people, but related to Indians. You could say that they were the easternmost Scythians, the Kushans. Not really Central Asians. So, and the Scythians were people who in a very distant time in history migrated out of India, possibly as a consequence of a defeat in a battle, in a war, maybe the Battle of the Ten Kings. So the Scythians and the Kushans were always related to us. If you look at the Tarim Basin cities, which are still found in ruined form in the deserts, you will see frescoes and paintings of Lord Ganesh, Lord Shiva, all that. So they were culturally Indian, linguistically possibly different, ethnically they had similar DNA. R1A is the classic Indian genetic haplogroup, male patrilineal haplogroup. So they were related to Indians. They must have been outside of India for several thousand years, but they were related to us. And when they invaded India and conquered parts of India, they were able to assimilate harmoniously like sugar in milk. There were no ethnic clashes, no religious tensions, nothing. Same for the Scythians. So yes, they came from Central Asia, but they were culturally, ethnically, civilizationally very similar to us. And the Kushan Empire did more than I cannot think of anybody else, did more than anyone I can think of to further propagate Indian culture and civilization far beyond India's boundaries. I mean, how much more Indian do you want somebody to be? Yeah. Okay, they came from outside. I don't care. They came from what part of the world? They were civilizationally like far more Indian than many Indians today. Understand that. So that's what I would say, and so on.